ESPN Kansas City is KCTE Independence and K233DM Raytown, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM.
Sports is the one thing this guy is truly passionate about. So passionate that sometimes we just have to put this sports nut on a leash.
I'm not trying to knock anything against the guy, but come on. Like, you are your own individual. You know what you were taking. It's going into your body. How could you not know what you're taking? You are your own person. You're putting the product into your own system. If MLB knows what you're taking, you do too.
It's time for Radioactive Sports with Justin Pemberton on ESPN Kansas City. Tune in every Saturday morning as Justin gives his fascinating opinions and thoughts on the most interesting topics in sports, right here in Kansas City. Now the host himself, Justin Pemberton.
So I'm going to tell you what. This, as I was just getting ready to say here, this has just been, I think, an absolute embarrassment for Major League Baseball. How hard should it be for teams to go out and sign a key free agent? How hard should it be? I mean, really. All these teams, and this is where I love having these discussions with one of my good friends, my good friend Patrick. I love having these conversations because we talk about how, at least I know he has told me this so many times, and I can't fail to agree. I mean, I love agreeing with this with him, and that's the fact. You need to get rid of the big market, small market, middle market crap. Because that's all it is. It's crap. There is no big market. I don't care. Oh, New York, Boston. I don't care. I absolutely do not care. Philadelphia, Chicago. I mean, and then St. Louis and Kansas City are small markets. No. Go back to the way it used to be. I mean, everybody should be able to compete, to go get free agents. Like, for example, Bryce Harper going to the Phillies. I mean, it really shouldn't be that difficult. Because a lot of these owners are rich. I mean, they've got tons of money. And all the revenue that comes into Major League Baseball from all the advertising and all this other stuff, the TV deals and all this, it's insane. It is a total embarrassment. And then there's so many good players. Now, I will say this about Bryce Harper and all these mega superstars in today's game. They're not worth 13 years, $330 million, or 10 years, $300 million like Manny Machado got from the Padres. The only guy that's probably worth that is Mike Trout. And boy, do I feel bad for that guy. Do I ever feel bad for Mike Trout? That guy deserves to be on a better team because the Angels are crap. They absolutely are. I mean, there's been so many years when he's been there. And, of course, when they've had Albert Pujols all this time and all these good players with a decent manager and Mike Scioscia, they had all these expectations and they were supposed to be a World Series contender and all this and that. They haven't even come close. They haven't even sniffed the playoffs because they don't try. They don't try. Now, they haven't gone through the tanking process, which is why I played that intro there, which is hilarious with Soren Petro and Curtis Seabold from the program on 810, our sister station. I do plan on having those guys on here again soon. I do, because they're a lot of fun to have on. But no, it just they haven't gone through the tanking process, but For those who have, stop. Like, how about try? How about trying to compete? See, and that's where I wish there were more guys like Dayton Moore. There need to be more GMs like Dayton Moore that actually give a crap, that actually want to try to win instead of disappoint your fan base. Like, for example, how about the fan base in Pittsburgh? The Pirate fans. Talk about a fan base that deserves a lot better. Talk about a fan base that deserves a lot better. You mean that run they had with McCutcheon and all these guys? They didn't try. I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about the ownership. The front office. They didn't try. You think of teams like go back to the Cubs before they got good. They didn't try. They were tanking on purpose to get draft picks. The Astros did the same thing. It's a pile of crap. You know what? At least when the Royals were bad, they tried. They played spoiler at times for certain teams. As I'll never forget, 2006, I believe it was, when the Tigers were having their breakout year, and they got back to being what they usually were, as we all remember from the 80s and all of that, being the historic history of what they are. The Royals kept the Tigers from winning the AL Central in 06. They got the wild card instead because the Royals played spoiler. So at least when the Royals were bad, we're not talking about last year, because we know last year was horrible. We're talking about that long stretch of, as we all know, when the Royals were horrible. They at least tried. They didn't tank on purpose for draft picks and all this crap. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And as for Bryce Harper, good for him. He got what he wanted. He wanted a long-term deal. And I got to point something out here, which is just really hilarious. And that's the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay. Big market team. Which I hate that term again. I hate that term. Big market, but still. Yes, big market team. LA. One of the most historic franchises in all of sports. In all of baseball. They got all this money. And yet they give a 4 years, $45 million deal to Harper? You talk about lowballing? That right there is lowballing. I mean, Jiminy. That's embarrassing. And yet, it's really surprising. I mean, that really surprised me. And then the Giants are going out for a 10-year contract. Look, I'm not saying that teams should be doing this, but if you're really wanting a guy like Bryce Harper, you have to really pony it up. At least try. Giving a 4 years, $45 million deal to someone like that is just embarrassing. But at the same time, it's wrong, too, of giving somebody like Bryce Harper 13 years for $330 million. I was about to say $300 million, because that's what Machado got from the Padres. There are just so many things wrong with baseball. Can we just put a salary cap in baseball, please? Please? Please. Put a salary cap. Look, it's not going to solve all the problems in baseball, because there's more than just that. There's other issues with baseball. But I'm talking about from a money standpoint with players and what they earn and what they get. It would at least stop the bleeding a little bit. It would calm the waters down just a little bit on that. It doesn't completely stop it, but it's going to at least control it. Put a salary cap in Major League Baseball, and then go from there, and everything will be fine. It's just unbelievable. Once again, Bryce Harper, if you've not heard, Bryce Harper got 13 years for $330 million deal for the Philadelphia Phillies, as he's going to be the new big star in Philadelphia. He's already on the front cover of MLB 19 The Show. Just unbelievable stuff there. But no, I'm sick and tired of all this, all these free agents not getting signed. I think it's a sad deal because they're not getting a chance to showcase what they're worth. But then again, nobody, minus Mike Trout, is worth 13 years. Because, look, real quick, all what these contracts do to teams, look, at first, it may not look so bad, but when you have a player for that many years, and as they keep getting older and older and older, and their production starts to decrease and decline, I mean, it's going to look bad because you still have to pay a certain player that type of money. You have to pay him that entire contract. And then what if you have to trade the guy? You still have to pay him some of that dead money. It's awful. That's why if I was a GM, I would never get myself into that type of situation. That's why, and look, I will forever like guys like Mike Moustakas and Eric Hosmer because of what they did for the Royals, bringing back a World Series to this city. I will forever love those guys. But I'm glad that Dayton Moore did not sign those guys to long-term deals because it would have handcuffed the Royals forever. Not forever, but for a long time at least. It would have handcuffed the Royals for a long time. It would have handcuffed that farm system. You have to be smart with these type of deals. I mean, as I've said so many times, and for those who listen to the program on 810 with Seren Petro, you've heard him say it so many times. You are in the get-it-right business. And the Royals are in the get-it-right business. Every Major League Baseball franchise is in the get-it-right business. And you've got to do things right. And this isn't right. It's not right to leave free agents dry and not sign them. It's not right to give out long-term deals. I mean, there's got to be a middle here. You can't be over here and you can't be over here. You got to be right here in the middle. Not here and not here again, but here. Let's meet it halfway. I mean, let's go. I'm tired of all this garbage. It's garbage. But again, for Bryce Harper, good for him. He got what he wanted, and we'll see what he does in Philly. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Machado, same thing in San Diego. I think it's wrong, but then again, I mean, good for them. They got what they wanted, and that's what it's all about these days. It's making the players happy, and the owners, they're good with it, at least most of them. But no, that's why I like guys like Dayton Moore, because they're smart. They know what's right for the franchises they work for. They know what's right. They don't go for, what's best for the players. They think of what's best for them. And that's why there needs to be more people like Dayton Moore, because they think of what's right, not of what's wrong and what's good for this certain situation or that situation. No. I mean, they got to think better. And there's a long ways to go for MLB to return to what it once was. But hopefully someday it will get back to the way it was.
Radioactive Sports with Justin Pemberton.
Bob Sutton's got to go. I mean, I'm going to stick with that theory. I mean,
Why was someone pressuring you to not stick with that theory?
No. No.
Has there been massive pushback?
Well, did Curtis actually get up and create a poster board and protest you for... Save Bob Sutton.
Yes.
Save Bob Sutton. Was that?
Yeah, I was so scared.
Tonight at 10, a pro Bob Sutton crowd takes over the plaza. We'll interview some of those people.
Oh, jeez.
Escaped lunatics. Both of them have taken over the plaza with their protest to save Bob Sutton.
I don't know, man. I think it's Mahomes, man. He's the problem.
On ESPN Kansas City, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM, and 1510.com.
Bye-bye. ESPN Kansas City is KCTE Independence and K233 DM Raytown, 1510 AM, 94.5 FM.